When historians look back on the 2018 NFL season and examine the New England Patriots, they won't find the league's most talented team, its hottest at the end of the season, or even its winningest overall. New England might have emerged on top of the football scrap heap to claim another championship, but they did so more through sheer will, teamwork, and game plan execution than anything else. Make no mistake, the Patriots are an excellent football team from top to bottom. But even compared to their other 5 Super Bowl winning squads, this current roster feels a little patchwork. There's a reason why the team adopted an underdog, us-against-the-world mentality during the postseason, beating off criticism, doubts, and widespread public perception that they didn't have what it takes to win a title. It's no longer a matter of debate. This 2018-2019 Patriots team deserved to win a championship because, quite simply, that's exactly what they did. New England beat 3 incredible teams, L.A. Chargers, Kansas City Chiefs, L.A. Rams, to seal the victory in their claim as this season's best team, so there's no disputing their worthiness. Still, Bill Belichick's team has a long way to go if they hope to come back stronger next year and vie for the repeat. It's exceedingly difficult to win back-to-back Lombardi trophies in today's NFL, but if the Patriots can shore up 3 of their most glaring weaknesses and areas of need, they might have a chance of beating the odds again in 2019. Next, rebuild the receiver core. Page 2 FOXBOROUGH, Massachusetts, December 30th, Julian Edelman. Photo by Matty Meyer, Getty Images. The only New England wide receiver guaranteed a roster spot in 2019 is the one wearing number 11 in the picture above. Fresh off an abbreviated 14-game campaign in which he still finished as the team's leading receiver with 74 catches for 850 yards, Edelman delivered a postseason performance for the ages, hauling in 26 receptions off 35 targets for 388 yards across 3 playoff wins. As a reward, he was named Super Bowl 53 MVP, though still strangely averse to the end zone at times. Edelman remains Brady's go-to receiver for gotta-have-it conversions, particularly on third down. His toughness, route versatility, and uncanny ability to get open at will all make him a lock to return to the Patriots next year, and presumably for many more years to come. Behind him, though, is a convoluted puzzle of a depth chart. Chris Hogan, Cordarrelle Patterson, and Philip Dorsett are all unrestricted free agents. Josh Gordon, still serving an indefinite suspension and receiving treatment for his substance abuse and addiction issues, is a restricted free agent. The only other 2 receivers still on the Patriots' regular roster even are special teams ace Matthew Slater, who has just 1 career NFL reception in his life, and rookie Braxton Berrios, who has never seen a regular season snap. Hogan has been a decent addition to the roster in his past 3 seasons since coming over from Buffalo, but he's hardly lit the room on fire. Throw out his epic AFC Championship game performance against Pittsburgh a couple years ago, and it's hard to remember any signature moments he's had in a Patriots uniform. Unless he's willing to take a significantly reduced new salary, it might be time for both sides to move on. Patterson proved his usefulness this season, doing triple duty as a return specialist, a receiver, and even as a running back at times. Still, this is a former first-round draft pick whose ceiling remains streaky gadget-type player, like Hogan. If Patterson is willing to take a pay cut to stick around in Foxborough another season to compete for a championship, then why not? Otherwise, he should be allowed to sign elsewhere for more money. Dorsett didn't show enough this season to warrant a raise or extension. Gordon was the dynamic deep threat the Patriots sorely needed, but he remains a major liability because of his off-field issues. Until and unless he can get the help he needs, he's doing little more than taking up a roster spot for the team. New England should explore both the draft and free agency to reload its receiver position this offseason. Hunter Renfrow of Clemson looks like the prototypical savvy route runner Bill Belichick covets in his offense. Adam Humphries of Tampa Bay and Cole Beasley of Dallas have also been linked to the Patriots via rumors and speculation. All three of these players would seemingly buy into the Patriot way and could quickly develop chemistry with Tom Brady. Really though, the Pats need to find their X-receiver, a vertical threat that can take the top off defenses and shoot for the end zone any given play. That should be their top priority in terms of off-season personnel acquisition. Next, with or without Gronk, tight end depth is a must. Page 3 Atlanta, Georgia, February 3, Rob Gronkowski. Photo by Patrick Smith, Getty Images. Obviously, the Patriots want Rob Gronkowski back in 2019. He's not only one of the best players on the team, he's one of the best players in NFL history, and arguably the greatest tight end ever. There's no denying he's lost a step. Gronk himself has admitted as much while flirting with retirement for the past year or so, but he's still the best two-way tight end in the league today. There might be better receiving tight ends elsewhere. Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and Zach Ertz come to mind, but none of them have the superb run blocking and pass protection abilities that Gronk also possesses. Hopefully he'll decide that he wants one more year with the team before calling it a career. Tom Brady's decision to return in 2019 might help persuade Gronk into sticking around a bit longer. At least one prominent member of the media seems to think so. With or without Gronkowski back in the fold next season, the Patriots owe it to themselves to start re-evaluating their depth at the position. When Dwayne Allen came over from Indianapolis, the hope was that he could build upon a promising career and play Robin to Gronkowski's Batman. That hasn't been the case thus far, and there's little to suggest he'll suddenly start catching touchdown passes left and right this fall, even with the added opportunities that would come along with Gronkowski retiring. The better option for New England would be to address the position through free agency, the draft, or perhaps even a trade. The 2019 free agent class of tight ends, like the tight end position in general this season, is a fairly middling group, with just a couple promising options at the top and not a whole lot else. Tyler Eifert from Cincinnati has the most upside and is still just 28 years old, but his injury rap sheet makes even Gronkowski look like a paragon of health. He's too risky of an ad for the Patriots. The team would have better luck trying to pry Jared Cook over from Oakland. In 2018, Cook had nearly 900 yards and caught 6 touchdowns playing with Derek Carr on an atrocious Raiders football team. If there's any chance he's more interested in winning a championship than securing a big payday this offseason, New England should be his preferred destination. Should the Pats decide to tackle the position in the draft instead, perhaps they'd consider one of two Iowa Hawkeye prospects, Noah Fant and T.J. Hawkinson. Both had quality seasons in the Big Ten last year. Fant had 39 catches for 519 yards and 7 touchdowns, while Hawkinson had 49 catches for 760 yards and 6 touchdowns. Not bad for both players, considering they essentially cannibalized each other's production in 2018. The feeling among some draft analysts is that Hawkinson might be the more balanced player between the two, as he displayed better blocking ability than Fant to go along with comparable receiving skills. If Belichick and the Patriots are looking to groom someone as Gronkowski's heir, it might make sense to see if Hawkinson can be that guy, provided the team can afford him at his projected first or second round draft value. Next, reinforce the defensive lineup. Front page 4 Atlanta, Georgia, February 3, Jared Goff. Photo by Matty Meyer, Getty Images. During certain games last year, the Patriots' defensive line was just a notch or two above utter disaster. Opposing running backs seemed to find open lanes at will, with unheralded rushers like Pittsburgh's Jalen Samuels and Detroit's Kerryon Johnson playing like perennial Pro Bowlers as they gashed the Patriots' defense on the ground. Thankfully for all of Massachusetts, Belichick and Brian Flores coached the defense up just in time to make a playoff push at the end of December and into January, and the team tightened up its rushing defense the deeper it went into the postseason. Somewhat surprisingly, the Patriots actually finished as the 11th best defense against the run during the regular season. Granted, the stats don't fully take into consideration that oftentimes opposing teams had to forego the run in order to try and outscore the Patriots' offense after falling behind early. Still, it was an encouraging turnaround overall. In the postseason, New England held the Rams and Chiefs both to a 3.4 yards per attempt rushing average. They bottled up the Chargers even further, limiting LA to just 1.9 yards per rush on the ground. In all three wins, and in every Patriots regular season win, New England held their opponent below 100 total rushing yards in the game. So how then does one evaluate this team's defensive line? Or perhaps the better question is, which version of the line is more accurate, the one that played dismally against the Steelers, Jaguars, and Lions, or the one that overpowered the Chargers, Chiefs, and Rams? Belichick probably thinks it's the latter, and hopefully he's right. After all, it stands to reason that the group of guys we just saw in February and January is a truer representation than the unit we witnessed back in December or September. It's now on Belichick and Greg Schiano, once his hire is made official, to prove that the defense's postseason performance wasn't just a fluke, particularly along the line. New England's secondary is unquestionably stellar, and its linebacking core showed real promise over the course of the year. The line is the only area where there's a real question of continuity and depth entering the offseason. Run stuffers Danny Shelton and Malcolm Brown are both unrestricted free agents. Neither one of them is a premier player at the position, but it'd be a surprise if both are back in Patriots uniforms come September 2019. The team will need to decide what to do with both of them, particularly Brown, who was a first-round draft pick back in 2005 and is still just 25 years old. Popular speculation suggests that if the Patriots are going to commit top dollar to a player on their defense, it should be defensive end Trey Flowers. Flowers is coming off a terrific season, and he's shown more and more every season he's been in the league. As an unrestricted free agent, he's sure to draw interest around the NFL for his versatility and pass-rushing capabilities. If they can afford to match offers he might receive elsewhere, New England should open up their pig bank to pay him. Next, which Patriots should stay and which should go in 2019? Doing so would presumably leave less funds to go around the rest of the defense, and the team as a whole, which is where this situation really gets interesting. If the Patriots have a weakness defensively, it's in their lack of a consistent pass rush and the fallibility of the defensive line against the run at times. The problem isn't quite dire enough to force the team into seeking top-dollar reinforcements in free agency or at the top of the draft, but it should still consider throwing a bunch of answers against the proverbial wall and seeing what sticks. Scouting the draft for value mid-round steals at defensive tackle or end, as well as combing free agency for under-the-radar veterans at both positions, might be the best strategy for solving this area of need before the new season rolls around. Page 5. Rookie Patriots running back Sony Michel just had one hell of a season. After finishing the regular season with 931 rushing yards, 50 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns, Michel enjoyed one of the most productive postseasons for a Patriots running back in NFL history. Across 3 straight wins, he racked up 336 yards on 71 attempts with an additional 6 touchdowns, finishing the playoffs with a rushing average of 4.7 yards per attempt. And if all that weren't impressive enough, he also set the league record for most playoff rushing touchdowns by a rookie back, and he did it in the AFC Championship game. Extra touchdown in the Super Bowl against the LA Rams was just icing on the cake. By any conceivable metric, Michel's first season was a resounding success. The sky's the limit for the bruising runner out of the University of Georgia, and Patriots fans are already salivating about what he'll do for an encore next season. In the meantime, Michel stayed busy during the early going of the offseason. He appeared alongside Kyle Van Noy in a taped interview with Max Kellerman on ESPN's First Take, rubbing salt in the wound for Patriots haters everywhere, Kellerman most of all. and on Tuesday, he posted a new video to his Instagram account that surprised fans and showed off the more artistic side of his talents. The video plays like a highlight reel of Michel's many terrific plays during the 2018 season, but it's the music track in the background that's generating most of the buzz. The rapper you hear on the video is none other than Michel himself, performing under his music name Fly Guy 2 Stacks. It's a short sample, meant more to elicit excitement about the forthcoming full track than anything else, but it's actually surprisingly well produced and executed for a football player. According to Angelique Fisk of Patriots.com, Michel has been rapping as a hobby since his college days at UGA. Some of his music is available to stream already on Spotify, and there's a good chance we could be seeing more of his work in the coming months before off-season activities and training camp get underway. Next, what are the top 3 needs for the Patriots this off-season? After getting a glimpse at this other side of number 26, fans must be left wondering if there's anything the multi-talented Michel can't do.